Hello, everybody. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas. Got a real interesting story for you today. I was contacting this reporter that actually had asked me to do an interview a few days ago. Name is Stephania Martinez. There, this is a screenshot right here. That's what we're looking at, and you can see I had the private message up, and I was right, and I wrote out this long message to her, and I was kind of summarizing everything I told her, and what had happened just in the last week while I was talking to her, because she was going to do a story on sex trafficking, and I noticed that she did a video on sex trafficking and said nothing about anything I told her whatsoever. That just got posted here 2 hours ago is what it shows. So I posted what I was writing her on the private message in public, okay? And that's what I'm gonna read to you right now is right there is what got posted on this Kmid reporter. And of course, I posted it on my Facebook right here, and that's where I read it from. You go to my Facebook and find it. Kmid reporter news story on human trafficking. Stephanie Martinez, a reporter for Kmid, contacted me a few days ago and asked for an interview, and I've been sending her stories ever since. She was going to do a story on human trafficking. I've now documented around 50 other homeowners reporting people in the attic since I was ambushed and shot with people in the attic. I believe this is connected with a violent human trafficking crime ring. I saw her news story posted today about human trafficking and posted this under it. As you already know, I had reported somebody in my attic to the police a year before I was ambushed and shot with my phone lines cut and stating that burglar alarms were going off in my attic. In addition, I was told by an Arron Pachlhofer that 4 people had been murdered, died in my home, and the evidence seems to show the previous owner, Mike Lawhon, was killed here and then taken to Fort Worth. Okay. She asked me, or I was writing her, I said, you asked me for an interview, but then canceled at the last minute and said that you needed to get the police reports from the city. That's what we've been waiting on. I then sent you proof showing that I requested from the city a list of all homeowners that have reported people in the attic in the last 10 years, and they lied and said that nobody had, which included me and the many other homeowners that I've documented with recordings of police scanner calls and emails. I wanted her to be aware of that because, I wanted her to know if maybe they're going to lie to her, and I don't want her to be deceived and then turn around and deceive the public. I told you the story of Jennifer Strilchuk, who lived at 2903 Chelsea Place. The police were called to her home several times, and I secretly recorded her crying and telling me how scared she was while you could hear burglar alarms going off in the background. I told you the story about the roofer telling me the owners of the home at 2505 Dartmouth had asked them to go up in the attic because they believed somebody had been getting up there. I drove over there and spoke with Shirley Gist, who was relieved when she found out these same crimes were going on at many other homes as people were calling this Christian lady crazy. I found out that the next door neighbors to this home were the parents of Curtis Lloyd, and he was the guy that found the remains of Haley Dunn 2 days after I wrote the DOJ and suggested they look in the underground homes here. She'd been missing for over 2 years at that time. I told you that on January 20th, 22nd, 2 days ago, I sent an information request to the city of Midland asking for the police calls for my home at 3802 Fair Circle before I moved here, as I was told this home was connected with multiple murders, but I was denied access to them. I also requested the radio calls from the police that were at my home. Okay, here, I want to catch right up. The police are at. So explaining the multiple people documents saying that tunnels around here, there was supporting evidence from here. Let me fix this. Sorry about that. I had to go page up. Also requested the radio calls from the police that were at my home on the night I was shot, and I explained to them that the multiple people documented as saying that tunnels and underground homes are here. Remember, one of them was running for sheriff, and I secretly recorded him, along with supporting evidence from Google Maps. Then I suspected some of those police were under my home, and it was somebody under my home that had shot me with my phone lines cut. The next day, I'd noticed the bunker in the backyard was removed from Google Maps after being there for many years. The question had been asked if the city of Midland did that to cover up the underground homes and multiple murders connected with them. I told you the story of the late Harold Klotz, who lived at 4619 Story after hearing on my police scanner him reporting people in the attic in 2013. He sold that home to David Pine, which was interesting since the realtor that found me this rigged home, Janine Pruitt, worked for Pine and Beckett, his company. The question had been asked if these realtors know these homes were rigged with hidden access before they sold them. I also shared with you a video and story proving these criminals were hacking or compromising the security cameras at my home. With millions of these same units sold and the belief there are many other homes rigged like this, then there's no telling how many burglaries, thefts, and murders are connected with this hacking. Today's story is about the home at 3309 Haynes Street. I recorded a call from my police scanner in 2015 where the owner was reporting people in the attic. I looked up the owner, whose name was Sybil Alexander, and spoke with her on the phone. I let her know that she wasn't the only crime victim. This home is located near the draw, which may be a factor, and it's also close to the mall. An employee at the Home Depot store behind my home told me one time that the same thing going on behind their store, which was believed to be sex trafficking at the time, was also going on behind the mall. I used to see 24/7 trucker traffic behind my home, suspicious traffic, and those trucks were not unloading freight. That's what made them suspicious. And two of their store employees had told me that prostitution was going on behind their store. I believe that has stopped now due to the concrete being poured. Remember, I showed DHS where I believe the human trafficking murder tunnel was. I found on Google Earth, and then 2 weeks later they poured concrete. And then the attention from my videos and the failed murder attempt on my life that left me crippled. And I put a video, Attic Investigation 3309. And then on my Facebook, the print screen that we looked at of the news story from Kmid, Stephania Martinez. So I haven't got any reply back. That's what I'm waiting on, a reply back from Stephanie, and maybe I won't. Maybe they're just trying to cover up these murders and the crimes and the human trafficking. I don't know. It's hard to figure out what's going on here in Midland, but what we know is that these crimes are all over the place. Them few stories are just some of the stories. There's plenty more of them. It is just absolute lawlessness what's going on. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas.